What's going on, everybody? I'm Jacob Cabazzuto with Cab Training. And so if you guys follow me on Instagram, you may have noticed that I'm getting faster. And I'm pretty proud of myself because I've been training myself since last September to really get myself up there in the speed and lean out a little bit better. And I want to share a video with you guys with a couple exercises that have helped me get faster. Specifically, plyometric exercises that got me faster during my strength programs. So before we get into it, if you guys want to become better athletes and better football players, hit that subscribe button because that's what all my videos are about. And let's get better today. So since about January, I've been watching what I've been eating. I've been training with a little bit more progression and focus. And from there, I've seen a lot of strength and speed gains in my body and in my performance. And so I really want to show you guys a couple of the jumping exercises that I use that have gotten me from 18.5 to 19.5 miles an hour to 20.5 to 21.2 miles per hour in my top speed sprinting. So let's dive into it with drill number one. Drill number one is a dumbbell squat jump. And these are super important, especially if you want to add some resistance to your jumping, add some stability towards your jumping, and get yourself floating and explosive off the ground. What this is really going to help with is your acceleration and your maximum force that you pop into the ground when you're starting your sprint. What you're going to do is you're going to do 4 sets of 4 of these squat jumps with, if you're my size, 5'9", 220 pounds, I would use 20-pound dumbbells. But if you're a little bit smaller, I would use 10 or 15-pound dumbbells to hold at your side. And you're just going to explode and try to float as high as you can with each of these jumps. Again, we're hinging at the hips, not going into a deep squat, but we're getting into about a half squat so we can use those hips and target those muscles to be quick twitch and explosive on the way up. And make sure you triple extend at the top of that jump and really float. Maximum effort is what's going to make you break the ceiling of your vertical jump height and your sprint speed. Exercise number 2 is a consecutive tuck jump. And I like to do 5 tuck jumps in a row. And I like to use my mindset of the floor is lava. And so the floor is lava basically means once you hit that ground, you're exploding back up. So we're using short ground contact times, which means our foot is going to be on the ground for a very short period of time. So our feet can be super reactive when we're sprinting and when we're jumping. So if you guys don't have really high sprinter level hurdles, which 99% of you guys don't have, you guys can do tuck jumps on your own in space, so you guys can really use that to get your foot reactivity right and your ground contact time down and your force up. And that's super important, especially when you're at your top speed. And that's really going to translate to when you're at the last 20 yards of a 40-yard dash sprint, or just when you're on the field trying to break away from the rest of the pack. But use this drill. I want you guys to do 5 sets of 5 consecutive tuck jumps so you guys can really reap the benefits of it. Stay tuned till the end of this video for a super important tip when it comes to programming these into your exercise programs and how often you should do these each week and throughout your program. Also, if you haven't already, hit that like button if this video is giving you value already. I'd greatly appreciate it so it reaches more viewers like you. Exercise number 3 is a single leg tuck jump. Now, a wise coach once told me 90% of the time an athlete is on one foot, and that rings true especially when you're sprinting. You can't sprint with both feet on the ground at the same time. And if you don't have stability and explosion and power in one leg, you're not going to be successful while sprinting. So we have to work that single leg so we can get the maximum amount of force in the ground, whether you're in acceleration phase or max velocity stage. So all we're going to do is we're going to be similar to the consecutive tuck jumps on the last exercise, and we're just going to do it with one leg. So you could progress this in a lot of different ways. You don't have to do them consecutively yet if you don't have the balance and the stability, but you just do one at a time and make sure that you land on the same foot that you jump with. You don't want to jump from one foot and land with the other foot. That's a completely different exercise. That's like skaters. You want to make sure that you're staying on that same foot, balancing and trying to stick that landing. If you guys do a double jump or you guys are wobbling at the bottom, you guys are not working that stability enough. So really apply your focus and mentally lock in so you guys can get the stability and the balance from this. So progress it from 1 at a time to 2 or 3 at a time to 5 at a time. Okay, you don't need to do any more than 5 at a time, because if we get more than that, you're not going to get the most effort out of those last couple jumps if you do like 8 or 10. So make sure, I think you guys should do 4 sets of 5 of these each leg, so you guys can get the balance and the stability, because without balance and stability, you're not going to be able to transmit force into the ground, and therefore you won't be fast. So that's that for exercise number 3. Biggest tip of the video: how often do you do these per week? How often do you do these in your training program? And how do you put them into your training program? And that's very important, because if you do it too often, you're not going to be able to recover and let those fast twitch muscles develop and adapt so you can become faster. But if you don't do it enough, you're going to result in maybe a possible injury, and your body is not going to be suited for the loads and the demands of the sport that you play. So make sure, so we have to strike a balance between the two so we can get the benefits of it. So my biggest recommendation for you guys to put these workouts into your program is to do these twice per week. All right, you do them on your leg days. So you could split them up a little bit. So if you have a heavy lower body leg day, you're gonna do those squat jumps with your squats. All right, it's kind of a contrast movement. So you use the squats for that ultimate power and that compound movement, but then you use those squat jumps to apply that power from a contrast movement onto the field. And then on a lighter lower body day, you guys will be doing more body weight jumping exercises, much like the consecutive tuck jumps and the single leg tuck jumps that emphasize balance and stability. Those are really going to be beneficial on those days. So I would find maximum effort, heavy jumping plyometrics on your heavy lower body day, and then the lighter body weight plyometric exercises to do on your lower body day. And that's my biggest recommendation for you guys, to do them 2 and 3 times, between 2 and 3 times a week, 3 being the absolute max of how often you do these jump drills, 2 being the absolute minimum. So try that out. Make sure you guys kind of put those into your programs. But if you guys have any questions, hit me up down below in the comments. I'd be glad to help you guys out. I'm always there to answer you. So that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate you guys watching and sticking in through the end. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, hit that like button and subscribe to Cab Training so you guys can watch more. Feel free to hit me up in the comment section below for anything else you guys want to see in a future video. But I greatly appreciate it all. Follow me on Instagram for a whole bunch of field training, speed and agility, and football training tips. And let's get better today.